Hello, this is Kim Watson from Easy Trader and Best Brokers Online. In this video, I'm reviewing the Core Spreads brokerage. Now, their main focus is on spread betting, although they do offer CFDs where regulations do not permit the former. So, if you can't spread bet, you can trade CFDs with them. Now, they have offices in the UK, in South Africa, and Australia that I know of. They're quite a big company now, starting to get big. Now, the one thing with Core Spreads, which is different to some of the brokers on our site that we've done reviews and recommend, is that this recommendation came strongly from our clients. We had a number of clients that were trading using Core Spreads and said how much they liked them. And a number of times when we've had problems with certain brokers, I won't mention large UK brokers, claim to be the largest, they had a lot of slippage with that particular brokerage. With Core Spreads, along with my broker and the other brokers, they didn't have that slippage. And you just think, well, okay, so they're good. They get recommended by the clients that have nothing at all to gain from recommending them, apart from they think they're good. They obviously aren't slipping people a country mile on each of the positions, and they're regulated by the FCA, the FSCA, and the Australian regulator. So they're a good regulated company, broker. I've not heard on the third. I've looked out elsewhere, and I can't find anything particularly bad about them. There's always someone that may actually say they had this happen or that happen, but generally, when you find out this happened and that happened with a lot of brokers, to be fair, it's the retail client not really understanding what they've done. Okay, so as I say, from our retail clients and our members of our trading community, they come with a very good recommendation. Now, the other thing I noticed, and when I do the research, I look at who the CEO, etc. is. One, I know Stuart Lane, he's the CEO. Known him for years, been with other brokers in the past. I know that the top guy there, and I'm really happy that who it is, basically. The other thing is that, well, with their offices where they are, we don't necessarily need to be stuck with just trading through London. Now, London, of course, comes under FCA regulation, which is great, but they also do come with MiFID leverage ratios, the leverage ratios that were decided by the European group, which stop traders trading anything more than 30-1 on currencies. Now, the problem with this is it didn't really do anything good for the retail trader. Many retail traders went offshore straight away. I spoke to one of the top guys at XTB, and he had said that a lot of money immediately went out across the Cyprus and other unregulated areas. So it didn't really help things. Money just moved across there. Now, I'm looking at a reputable broker here that has an office that's also regulated in South Africa. With South African regulations, you can have up to 200-1. Well, they offer up to 200-1. I do actually believe you can have greater leverage than that, but 200-1 is fine on many currencies. 100-1 is still very good. What it means is what it means is that you can trade properly. We regularly get people with modest accounts, and they're in 3 positions. And they can't open the 4th position, and you just think, well, okay, so you're losing out on opportunity, although you're trading correct size-wise. You're not risking more than 1 or 2% of your account, but you can't trade anything more. You're stuck. So by having 200-1, it doesn't mean say you can go blast things. It means what it means is you can actually have 3, 4, 5 positions. You can actually trade properly. If you're in a winning position, you can add to that winning position and continue adding to that winning position without being stopped because of margin. So lots of benefits there by using the South African office. Now, my first question always with a broker is your money safe? So I'll ask that now. Is your money safe? Well, yes. Core Spreads is regulated, as I say, through FCA, FSCA, so both the UK and South Africa there. And the money from both, wherever you put the money, it sits in Barclays in London. So that's always, and it's segregated, so it's immediately segregated. It sits in there, so they're not going to be touching your money for their own use. So that's a good point to start with. From that point of view, they've got a good reputation. They're worldwide, and they're trying to build. And there's no way they're going to spoil their reputation. So is your money safe? I would say yes. You will not get quite the same regulations if you use the South African account, of course, because with the FCA you can't lose anything more than your your main deposit. I believe you're still liable if you run through that deposit level, but generally people don't do that because they get margin calls and stopped beforehand. And I think that's about it. That's the key thing. Your money guaranteed. Well, the very fact it's in a segregated account, it makes a little difference really, because they shouldn't be touching it. So money's safe. Well, it's always going to be safer if you have that FCA account, but with the lower leverage, it's still pretty safe, in my opinion, if you use it looking at the South African account. Next thing with spread better, or any brokerage rather, is from my point of view, are the spreads low? Now this is where core spreads really focus on, is giving you low spreads, but giving you fixed low spreads. So when the market gets volatile, you won't see the pound dollar jumping all over the place. If I just click on here, we can just look at the pound pairs here, and if you look at the pound dollar here, you're looking at a fixed spread here. It's well, the price isn't moving too much, but you'll just see it's a fixed spread all the way through. So you can see the spreads are tight and it's fixed. So it doesn't matter what the market's doing, you're going to be in and out of those spreads. Now they can do this because they're a market maker, so they're taking the other side of the position. So there's nothing to stop them effectively doing that, because they can give you a very good price and be very competitive, because to be fair, 70-80% of the traders are losing money, so they're making money from taking the position. Now they're still going to fill you in the best possible prices. They've got to be complying with regulations, so they've still got to fill you at the right prices. The only difference is if you're losing, they're taking the risk, so they're hedging the position effectively either onto the market or just taking the hedge into their own account and hedging you against other traders. So it's a balanced pot, but they're the market makers, so they can afford to do this. So it gives them the opportunity to have these fixed spreads, and boy, they're low. And the good thing is, aside of the likes of LMAX, they're low across the board. Now LMAX, as I said in the previous review of LMAX, is they've got low spreads across the board properly. Now if you take the pound yen, for example, with LMAX it's around about 1.1 to 1.5 pips. With core spreads here, it's 2.4 pips, but no one else then comes anywhere near them. You're still looking at 3 pips, 5 pips, 7 pips on other brokers, even the ones I'm looking at. So you're trading with, as I say, very low spreads, and low spreads across the board. What the commission's like, there's none. So that's answered that one. As I say, they're a market maker. They're taking the other side of the trade, but that's fine. What are the feels like? Well, I'm going on here, and I'm going on what our retail traders are saying, and they're good. As I said, they're getting their stops filled correctly. They're not getting a lot of slippage. Everything's looking good from that point of view. The other thing, what are overnight charges? Overnight charges, I understand, are more modest. The overnight charges. I've been looking to see where they are on here. I'm going to have to get a table of them from them, but they are more modest. They're not as big as some other companies out there, but they are competitive. But overnight charges, a swap rate, so where a lot of brokers now are making their money effectively, a lot of them. Okay, so how quick can I get my money back? Well, again, this is a point where I've not heard of anything poor about them. And as I said, with the money being based in London, it's going to be pretty quickly. So these brokers have got to deal with the regulations they're in, and they've got to give you your money back quickly. And I've not heard anything aside of you can get your money back. Next important thing then is how good is the platform? Well, this is basic, and I'll say say at the outset, they are not spending money on bells, whistles, and everything else. They are giving you cheap, 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 but good. And there's two good things here. First is, I mean, as I say, they're cheap. Two is the speed of execution. Their speed of execution is very quick, so they're matching their price in their system, and that's what they pride themselves. They've gone down the sort of route of being towards that professional side of execution, so it's very, very quick that you're getting filled. They can do it. They can. Their systems will match, and they can close positions off very, very quickly. So they're doing a good thing there. But as I say, the platform itself, I think it's a bit clunky. I was looking for I mean, you've got popular markets, but I was looking to build a bit of my pairs, but I can't even seem to do that. It may be just me being a little bit slow, but you've got to shop around here and try and find what you want to do. There isn't a saving list. Once you get the ticket out, look at a ticket. If we take the trade, look at a ticket. Very, very simple. In fact, one criticism I have here is there's not enough detail there. It gives you the estimated margin on that position, which is fine, but what it doesn't do is give you any other data, swap rates, etc., that you may be charged, any other charges there. You can click on this place, there we go. If you put this, and you can get the ticket to wind up a little bit. You can see that they do guaranteed stops if you really want them. I don't recommend them too much with your day trading or even swing trading. I think it's an expensive way. You're just adding 3 points to everything you trade effectively on the pound dollar, for example. So if you're trading at £1 a point, it's costing you extra £3 the word go. Maybe if you're trading a Swiss dollar, you may want to click on that guarantee, but in the majority of currencies, I would steer clear of that. But you can either put a price or points away. So the ticket itself, once you've got it open, is very simple. So if I was putting a 10 pip stop on this, for example, there we go. We can see what approximate amount, how much it would cost to lose. If I put the profit level there, say 25, for example, and there you go, approximate amount, £25. This is demo count here. So that's the DMD. But there you go, simple as that. And placing a trade, it's very, very easy. It's just bang, you're done, and there it is. It's all sorted for you. Okay, now I've obviously pressed something wrong in that line because it didn't actually go through. Let's click on that again. Oh, it's there. It's just me being a bit slow. There we go. So positions on there, and there's the margin. Now this margin is based on a UK account by looks of things. It's not the leveraged account. There's quite a bit of margin sitting there. So that, as I say, that'll be at the 30% ratio. Okay, so there we are. That's how easy it is. You can amend the position easy enough if you want to move your stops, etc. Very, very simple from that point of view. So that's pretty much the platform. Closing the position, just as simple as that, and that's how quick it flicks through there. And it's very, very quick, basically. And that's what they pride themselves on. Plenty on the platform. There's plenty of choice in terms of if you want to trade a wider market. It's certainly out there. Okay, so platform, basic, functional, lacking a little bit of data in summary. The charts. Now the charts, he smiles a little bit. The charts are very basic. Again, you're not buying swings and whistles or bells and whistles even. Swings and whistles, bells and whistles. So you're looking at this. Can you trade off here? Yes, you can trade off here, but the disappointing point here, when you do, you can put hedging, by the way, on here. You can, there you go, you traded, but it doesn't show you where your position is. It shows it down the bottom here, but it doesn't show it on the chart. So you're not going to be seeing there with it on the chart. It's you're looking at a very basic way of trading here, and the charts are very basic. I haven't actually looked at putting too much on them. You can have a look at a quick chart here straight from when your position's open, but as I say, it doesn't actually show you your position. It doesn't show you where your stops and your targets are on the chart either. So it's nice to have it there if you're looking at a chart and you're just waiting for a certain price to be had. It's nice from that point of view. It's just lacking the sort of functionality you'd have on an MT4 account. Talking of which, they do have a standard core MT4 account as well, so you have the option of doing so. Do you need the MT4 account? Not really. If you like this, you can hedge on all of these positions. When you're doing your setups, I should show you this actually, a bit of functionality. When you're setting up here, you've got this little setup button. You can have a default size popped in there if you wish to have such. You can always have hedging on. So if you're swing trading and day trading on the same account, and you're long on the euro, for example, and short, you want to go short on it intraday, you can do so, or hedge it just for a while, you can do so. So you can save those functions within there as well. So simple. Basics there of what you can do there, hedging as well. So let's just close that off, click that, submit, gone. So you can print these if you wish, or just close them. So trading platform charts, basic, and that's what you get, literally what you're getting, simple basic tools. Okay, minimum account size. So I've got this on my list here to talk about. Minimum account size is literally around about £100, €100, $100. It's small, so you can start off small on here. Of course, you can't really do too much with those sort of levels. You can trade micros on here, so it goes right down small positions. But at the same time, you need a sufficient amount, £1,000 probably plus in a trading account to be trading it with any chance of trading it properly. So yes, you can open small accounts, you can trade small positions. Aside of that, that's pretty much it. So in summary, a good company, very tight fixed spreads, tight and fixed, good fills from what the feedback from our retail clients from that point of view. Platform, functional. Not sufficient information really for some of the things I would like to see on there. I'd like to see what swap rates were on the ticket, etc. So it's lacking a little bit of information on their tickets. Could do with some more information on the ticket itself, so you know what you're doing. It gives you an estimated margin here, but per pound, I assume this is per pound per point. So it's giving you some detail, but not sufficient, and the charts are a bit soft. But if you've got a platform which is cheap and working well, my thing is, well, just go and get TradingView, or opt for another charting package. They can be quite cheap out there, and over the year you'll probably save more on the tight spreads, etc., than it will cost you for some fancy charts. So that's my review. Good, solid, bit basic, very fast, and that's what they're up to. So that's Core Spreads. Click on the link below. You'll go through, and it'll go to the South African office. You can open an account, legally open an account from the UK there. The money, as I say, is safe in London.